Why, hello. Welcome to Tuesday's book talk. And I'm pretty excited about these options. Today I'm going deep into epic. And for our first one, there's a series called Brands to Know. This is such a cool nonfiction series that I think will have equal interest for both boys and girls in the class. That's not always the case with books. Sometimes they are like a little more interesting to boys or a little more interesting to girls, but this is a series that I think will be interesting to everyone. Um, and look at some of the brands they have. Nintendo, that's pretty sweet. Star Wars, I know we have Star Wars fans in the class. Google, that's pretty interesting. Netflix, awesome. Hello Kitty, Coca-Cola, Amazon, it's pretty sweet. And they're just my favorite, ESPN. They're just nonfiction books all about these brands. So if I click on Netflix, it's the story of a company like Netflix. I find it really interesting. And you always have the tool to be able to click on a word and hit it to have it defined for you. So I don't know if you knew, but it used to be that Netflix started where you could get DVDs sent to you in the mail. That was the first Netflix I ever had. And then eventually they became what we know today. So it's just like cool history. You can explore any of those companies. And I find this one to be so cool, fun, interesting. There's even more. Um, let's see what other companies they had. Crayola, John Deere, Nerf, Apple, Target, Disney, American Girl, My Little Pony, Pokemon, Hershey's, Minecraft, Ford, Dairy Queen, Nike, Kellogg's, Nickelodeon, McDonald's, Sony. I got a PlayStation, Barbie. I mean, dude, if there's not a book for you in here, come on. All right. So I think you'll really like that. And let's check out our next. For our next one, it's another nonfiction series, and this one is called Abandoned Places. And it just tells you about places that used to exist and then they were abandoned. So, like this one, Six Flags New Orleans. Um, so, this used to be there in New Orleans, and then Hurricane Katrina came and it never reopened. And it's kind of been taken over by the wild again, and it's become a pretty creepy place, but it's still like there, so you could still like walk around in the park, but it's never been opened again. You can see like after the hurricane that it got completely flooded, which is why it closed. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, you have Six Flags New Orleans, Roanoke Island, the town that vanished, Kolmanskop. I don't even know what that is. Sultan Riviera. I have no idea what that is. The smell of dead fish fills the air. Who would believe that Sultan Riviera was once a popular vacation spot? I mean, it's pretty cool. And you can always click explore the series. And oh, this, I guess it's that this company has these other books as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. So Torque Books. So all kinds of other nonfiction. Oh, and here's the abandoned places. I mean, look at this Battleship Island, Caraco Bodie. I've never even heard of these places. Scotta Bray. I mean, I'm into it. Okay. So perhaps that is interesting to you. And the third book is called Words with Wings by Nikki Grimes. Really good author. And this book's cool. It's a verse novel. So it's like a book of poetry, but it tells a story. And I feel like in the springtime, it's kind of nice to read something like this. And the good thing about a book told in verse is that it's literally just directly the story. There's not none of the other stuff. So it's different, but in some ways it can be easier. Um, I'm just going to read a few of the pages. You'll get an idea of it. Mom calls me a daddy girl because him and me, we're both dreamers. Close your eyes, he used to say. Tell me what you see. I'd say sky, shooting stars, rainbow wrapped around the earth. Now it's my turn. I see you and me bundled up in silver spacesuits bouncing on the moon. Race you, he'd say, and we'd laugh. Back before he moved across the street and we moved across the city. Our laughter has a lot further to travel now. So, just in that poem, you get the sense that her dad had to move out and they have this kind of connection as dreamers, right? Um, Cherry. The kids at my school called me weird, teased me, or left me to myself, except for Cherry, who picked me to sit next to in kindergarten just because she saw me staring out the window and was dying to know what made me smile when all she saw were raindrops. I was shy about telling her at first, but Cherry didn't mind my daydreaming. She was colorblind, but said whenever I described my daydreams, it was like helping her see the rainbow. So each poem is short and tells its own little story. Learn about her friendship with Cherry and how the main character, like, we're learning she's like kind of like a daydreamer, right? And her friend Cherry is colorblind and they become this perfect match. First day. Oh, hope. I hope this new school has a Cherry who will think daydreamers are cool. So clearly she's in a new school. Gabby. 1 week in, and already my new teacher complains about how much I daydream. Gabriella, he'll say, where have you gone off to this time? I try to tell Mr. Spicer it's not my fault. Blame it on the words. Gone. A few days later, Dad packed his bags and hugged me goodbye. Something wet was in his eye. When he walked out the door, I started missing him that very second, but I didn't cry. Instead, I filled the quiet with daydreams. So I love this book because it's like such short little bits. It's clear, but it's also like pretty deep stuff. Um, yeah, and it just seems like the perfect fifth grade book to me. So you have three options today. I hope the brands we know, Abandoned Places and Words with Wings. I hope one of these interested you. All right, thank you.